guys doing? And welcome to another edition of Better Sports News. I am George Owen. Accompanying me here with me is Jeff Chappie Chapman. We got Phoenix. And we got a great show. This weekend is so exciting. Nothing more exciting than being here at Santa Anita. Saturday's going to be a huge day. It's the $1 million Santa Anita Derby, plus so many other things. Isn't that right, Jeff?
Yeah, the crowd should be great. This is, I'm like a kid in the candy store, George, for this. This is probably my biggest day of the year. Huge crowd, a lot of things going on in the infield. They got the Chef Series here in the Chandelier Room. You can't beat it. They're going to put on quite a show.
I'm so excited to be here as well because last year I became a huge fan of California Chrome. And I had such a wonderful time last year, and I was working, and now I'm in the Gallop Out, you know, with like they run right there.
Right
so
there.
last year I wasn't able to see them, and this year I'm going to be like in the middle of the action. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, that's definitely the race that catapulted the Triple Crown winner, and this is certainly going to be with Dortmund in it. Somebody who certainly can win the Kentucky Derby and maybe go on to the Triple Crown. So a very exciting day, not just in horse racing, but again, we love horse racing, so it's going to be exciting. But also a great day in the NCAA, no? Because today we got two huge games, and then, of course, the finals on Monday. Both teams, Duke is favored by 5, and Kentucky is favored by 5 against Wisconsin. How do you see it? Well, are you excited about this Final Four?
I am. I'm a little bit disappointed because obviously my Fighting Irish almost played the game of their life. They almost pulled off the biggest upset in, I don't know, in a long time, George.
That was quite a game.
Unbelievable.
I was thinking about you the whole
Notre
time.
Dame had them the entire game. They kind of went out of their own offense the last minute of the game. Kentucky didn't miss for the last couple minutes. Anyways, it's over. Sour grapes, right? But I think that was Kentucky's one chance to lose. So if I had to take in that game, I would lay the 5 points. Even though Wisconsin's tough, Frank the Tank, that's a good group of players. But I'd still take Kentucky and lay the 5.
Well, I actually have Duke and Kentucky on my bracket, and I have Duke winning. So, but my whole entire bracket is awful. But I said if Duke wins, I win the whole thing. The whole thing.
I think Duke's playing great. I mean, I think if there's a bet to be made for me personally, I think Kentucky's going to just wipe out Wisconsin. I just don't think they're fast enough. I don't think they're good enough. I think Kentucky had their scare. And now they're just I think they're going to blow out Wisconsin. I don't think it's going to be close. I'm going to lay the 5 without any problem. I like Michigan State plus the 5. I think Michigan State, even though they were, I think initially ranking them 7th was a mistake. I think they were a much better team than that. So I don't think it was a huge upset along the way. And I think that Michigan State has not only a chance to cover, I think they could win the game outright.
I agree with you. I mean, Michigan State's a team that they always, no matter where they are during the regular season, they seem to make the Final Four about every year. They're battle tested. They play good teams at the beginning of the year, so their record might not be as good, but they've already played those teams, and they always show up tournament time. So I'll take the 5 as well.
Yeah, very exciting. It's Saturday. It's Santa Anita. It's basketball. It's madness. It's wonderful.
That's right.
Madness and sadness because one of my favorite players in the NBA of all time announced his retirement. Dirk Nowitzki, one of the best players ever. He had that unique shot with that 1 foot. He retires as the only player ever to have 25,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 1,000 blocks, and 1,000 three-pointers. So he's just multifaceted. He's wonderful, and it's going to be sad to see him retire.
Yeah, sad to see him retire, and I'm sure Mark Cuban will be sad to see him retire.
Yeah, Mark Cuban, I love that man.
That's one of his favorite all-time players. He won a championship for him. I love Nowitzki, a humble guy, 7-footer who could shoot a three-pointer like nobody's business. He was unbelievable.
Yeah,
I would like to interview him to see what he has to say about Mark Cuban, how he turned that team around, because I think that's an amazing story.
No doubt.
There's no owner that gets more involved than Mark Cuban. I mean, he's super involved, and see, I mean, their whole team really worked around Nowitzki. So with him gone, they've got a little readjusting to do there. But I think they're gonna be good. But we're gonna miss Dirk.
That's right.
We're not gonna miss an exciting finals of the basketball season. It's getting really close. On the 18th, we start the playoffs. But Coach of the Year is up for grabs between Atlanta and also with Steve Kerr, who's done a great job there. And I think he's the front runner for the Coach of the Year, don't you think?
I think you'd have to give it to Steve Kerr. I mean, the Golden State hasn't been anywhere for a long time. I know they have those great shooters, but he's a young coach. He's got that team playing well. They've got to be the favorites going into the NBA playoffs. Excuse me. I give it to Steve Kerr.
Yeah, I think Steve Kerr has done a great job. And then for the MVP, I mean, they just keep outdoing themselves. I mean, he just dropped 51. Harden, who's great to watch. Steve Kerr broke CP3's ankles, and did you see that play? That was
unbelievable.
Ridiculous. I mean, they're really putting on a battle for MVP. I know you guys talked about it last week. Who do you? I wasn't.
I think I change every week, so I'm going to go with Curry. But I mean, Harden puts on a show. Westbrook is a human triple-double.
Right.
Any of the three are willing, and LeBron's probably the best player in the game.
Right.
So any of the four.
Anytime, yeah. I like the whole I'm cooking. When Harden, every time he scores, he's like cooking. It's
right.
great. Baseball starting as well. Isn't it right around the corner, opening day? Your Cubbies on opening day, right?
Sunday night baseball, Cubs, Cardinals. Can't wait to see it. Cubs are going to be the best team in baseball the next few years. And maybe not this year, but very exciting young club. Monday, everybody else gets started. So, your Dodgers on Monday.
Yeah, I can't go.
Unfortunately, you couldn't
Can't
get
go.
tickets. Should be a great time, though.
Who's your favorite player on the Dodgers? There.
I met the pitcher.
Oh yeah,
Clayton Kershaw.
Hey, Kershaw. He's a heck of a pitcher. All right, well, it's an exciting weekend. We love to keep talking sports, but horse racing, I think, for me, dominates this whole weekend. Saturday, just a phenomenal day. We're going to get into the late pick four, which is guaranteed at $750,000. Plus the pick six is guaranteed at $300,000. Just a fantastic Saturday lined up at Santa Anita. Wherever you are, if you can get out here to Santa Anita, come on down. We'll be right back right after these messages. It's right around the corner on HPQualified.com. It's the Lucky 7 contest. Fenix, you feeling lucky?
Oh, I'm feeling so lucky anytime it comes to horse racing.
I love it. This contest is one of a kind. They started in 2008, and it's the Lucky 7 contest with 3 rounds. Now, in the first round, it's called the Lucky 7 contest, right? Why?
Because 7 lucky winners are going to win cash prizes in the first round.
That's right. So 7 winners in the first round will get cash prizes. Then 50%, the top half, will move on to round 2. And in round 2, it's the Lucky 7 contest because
7 lucky winners will win cash prizes in the second round.
That's right. And then in that second round, the top 50%, or half the field, will move on to round 3, the big round. And in round 3, it's the Lucky 7 contest because
cash prizes, and they will win chances to enter other tournaments.
yes,
Right,
great
like
tournaments like the Win Contest, the Horse Players World Series, and of course the Players Challenge. So the only way to play in round 2 and in round 3 is to enter in round 1. You can't buy your way into round 2 or 3. So it's a very cool contest. You buy 1 entry fee into round 1, and you can play in all 3 rounds for cash prizes in each round and entries in the final round. It's the Lucky 7 contest. There's feeders all the time to get into that contest. And where can they play that contest?
They can be lucky 7 at hpqualified.com.
And welcome back to Better Sports News. That commercial there, the Lucky 7. Of course, that's at hpqualified.com. Last week I was in Vegas for the Horse Player World Series, and I sat at the table with the owner of HPQualified.com. He came in 7th.
Very
so that's
nice,
pretty good.
very
Out of
nice.
740 people.
How'd you do,
He
George?
I came in at 500. Excuse me. I didn't do too good.
It's a learning
my God.
experience,
It was
George. A learning experience.
It was very complicated, but it's going to be. It was so much fun. I mean, I think those contests.
Well, that's what it's all about,
It's fun,
really.
and you know what's going to be really fun is right here at Santa Anita. Saturday, just a huge day. They have that 5K run, so I think they might close Baldwin. So try to get here early because there could be some traffic, a lot of traffic because we're going to be packed. So many exciting things, right, Jeff?
That's right. 11 race card
Ooh.
that day. First post 12 noon. 750,000 guaranteed in the late pick 4, which we will talk about in a minute.
Yes.
It's going to be a great crowd. 80, low 80s, sunny, beautiful, lots of beer fest.
Metalachi!
Metalachi!
Our favorite band.
Rock and roll, and then what else? Did
Yeah,
they
I
play?
don't know. They're going to have hard metal, and they're going to have mariachi. I don't know how that's going to work,
I
but it's
wanna
going to be
see
great.
that.
You're going to be up at the Gallop
I'm
Out.
going to be up at the Gallop Out with the buffet and everyone in there. I mean, we're sold out
I
already.
think
There's walk-ups, but
K-Rock's going to have some kind of a beer festival in there. It's just a very exciting. And then Sunday, don't miss the Easter egg hunt. Bring the kids.
That's right.
But
We
Saturday-
call that pick and pray, folks.
But Saturday's just a huge day, so please get out to Santa Anita and great betting. Oh, the $300,000 guaranteed in the pick 6 and in the pick 4, the late pick 4, $750,000 guaranteed. Very exciting.
the purse is $1 million.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
All right, so we're ready.
Ready for the pick 4.
I got
All
my
right.
glasses. I don't want to miss anything.
The first leg kicks it off with a grade 1 Santa Anita Derby.
Yeah.
3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th.
All right, Georgie. I'm going to single here to start. Now, I know you're probably going to go against me here. I'm going to take Dortmund. I know he's 3 to 5 in the morning line, and I would say this is the free square. But so I'm going to take Dortmund and single him. But there's many reasons probably to play against that. I know Dortmund, he's going to be cranked up the first Saturday in May, not this Saturday. Other horses need to win this. I think he's the best horse in the race, and I can't find a single elsewhere. So I am going to single here. I think a few other horses, obviously, that you're going to touch on are interesting, and one you might not have. One Lucky Dane, to me, I think is a very interesting horse. First time out as a 3-year-old, he wins by 9. They rapidly improve as 3-year-olds. It's a Baffert young colt. When they always say Baffert has 2 in the race, always take the higher price. Just a sleeper horse there I'm going to throw out, but I am going to single Dortmund to start.
All right, well, I mean, Dortmund certainly can win. He's undefeated. I just think it's very difficult to go undefeated and just continue that roll onto the Kentucky Derby. And I don't know if they have to win this race.
I agree.
So I'm not sure if he's going to be cranking him up for this particular race. He might be looking at, you know what, let's give him a kind of okay race, but we need to win the Kentucky Derby. So I don't think they're pointing that. And it's hard to go undefeated into the Kentucky Derby. I'm going to use him in my pick 4 because I don't want to, leave him out. He's certainly the best horse in the race by far. I like Bolo. I like Bolo's last race. I looked at it over and over and over again. Bolo was outside. He lost ground the whole way. He stayed there with Dortmund till the very end. It was his first time ever on dirt. He was on grass in his first 3 starts. I think it was a much improved effort, a wonderful effort. And if he improves even a little bit off that, I think he's going to sit a perfect trip just right behind maybe Dortmund and even One Lucky Dame. I mean, I can't see Baffert sending them both to the lead, but they both have speed. So, I mean, to me, I'm going to use them both. Probably Dortmund's going to win, but I want to have a backup, and my backup is Bolo with reunited with Mike Smith. Plus, I'm going to bet a win bet on Bad Reed Sanchez at he's going to be like 7-1, because when we interviewed Doug O'Neill, he kind of talked about that horse, so I don't want to not bet him. So I might bet like $10 on him to win, just in case he becomes this mega superstar. So, but in my pick 4, I'm using the 1 and the 4.
Perfect.
The second leg is a big field going a mile and an 8.
George, I'm going 6 deep here because I think this is kind of a spread race. I used the Hollendorfer on the rail. The one time that horse went on the turf, drew off and won. I'm using the Drysdale horse, the 4 Intrachat. Well-bred filly, first time Lasix. I got to go with the Baltus horse, the 6.
Yeah.
First time out going a mile, 2 turns on the turf, first time out, draws off, wins by 5. That's never easy to do. Then I'm going to go with the Cassidy Shipper, who came in the last time. I think that horse probably needed that race, still won, went off at 4 to 5 in that race and drew off. And then I'm going to use the Mandela on the outside. I think there's some room for improvement, so I'm 6 deep here in the second leg.
All right, well, I'm 6 deep as well. Just not.
Do we have
6.
the same 6?
I like a lot of horses. That Spanish Queen. Remember, we saw that race. That was so impressive. Spanish Queen did so great. I mean, just showed a turn of foot that's the way you win turf races. Looks so impressive. Second start, I think the Baltus Barn was really high on that horse. I'm definitely using that horse. I'm using some other horses. I'm using Old Fashioned Gal. I think Old Fashioned Gal ran a race good enough to win. Ran in a couple of grade 3s and did okay, so he's going to do well. Entrachant the 4th, I'm using him as well. First time Lasix. Drysdale is excellent on the grass. If I had to bet a horse to win, I would bet Prize Exhibit. Using Thoroughgraph sheets, which I use all the time, he's got the best Thoroughgraph numbers by far. Both races were spectacular. He was off slow the first race he ran here in the States. Then he was forced out into the stretch in that second race and still won and managed to win. I mean, that horse is a stud. I mean, that horse is really, she's going to do great. I'm using also Havana Belle and Spirit of Shan. So 6 horses for me in leg number 2.
What about leg number 3?
Yeah, number 3.
Leg number 3 to me is the most wide open race of this pick 4. I'm not going to hit the Chappie all button, but I am going to go 7 deep. I don't have a big opinion on any horse in this race. I tried to cut down here, so I am 7 deep in this race. What are you looking at?
I'm taking the Chappie button in this
Oh,
race.
man.
I'm using the all button because I love a horse in the last race that I'm going to single. So it was such a competitive race, this one. I mean, I guess Bad Juju, if I had to pick one horse to bet to win, I kind of like Bad Juju with Kayla Straw. But it's a really competitive race. I'm going to use the all button. My ticket's going to be like $78, and I'm going to single in the last leg.
Well, rounding it out is 1 mile for the fourth leg.
I am going to defer to my friend George, since you do have this amazing single. I would like to hear who it is, and then I'll chime in after you.
All right.
Oh.
I absolutely love a horse in this race. There's some horses that are really that are really good, but to me, Winning Prize is the winning horse of the race. His last race, he's had a really good trip. Didn't really open up till late, and in that race, Ring Weekend just exploded and won that race. Like, ooh, him and Summer Front, they just ran lights out, but he had to sit and wait, and finally when the hole opened up, the horse ran great. He's been running in grade 1s and grade 1s and grade 1s. I love Winning Prize. I love Big Harano, and to me, it's a sure single in the last leg.
Wow, very confident. I like that, George. I'm going to go 4 deep, and that is one of the horses I'm going to use. I'm going to use the 2 Enterprising. The Proctor horse had a little bit of trouble last time out. I like the turn of foot, deep closer, 4 for 4 at the distance.
He's got no chance. Oh, excuse me.
I'm also going to use the 4 Winning Prize. I'm using the 7 Pure Tactics, Doug O'Neill. I think that horse is getting good again.
Yeah.
5 of 6 on the turf. And I'm also going to go with the Mandela horse, the 12, coming out of the Grade 1 Rodeo. So 4 deep for me. I'm spending $84. I think you're at 78, so we're close. I'd say hit both of our tickets, folks. One of us is going to hit this one.
One of us is going to hit
That's
it.
right.
We're
That's
due.
right.
We're due. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for watching us. It's just going to be an exciting weekend. Please try to make it out here to Santa Anita. I want to thank everybody. Chappie, thank you very much. Phoenix, beautiful makeup that it's done by Denise Guzman, and our wonderful crew here. It's just phenomenal. John Mann, we got Don Appleby, we got Jim Patrick. It's Don Jim John. Isn't he the president of South Korea? Or something? No.
That's a different show,
guys.
George.
Don Jim
Yeah.
John. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week right here. Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.